Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and of course AFCON is underway, and to celebrate everything African football, today we're going to have a Wonderkid 11 filled with solely African Wonderkids. So there's going to be a player for each position, all from an African nation, and we create quite a nice team, all of which are from different leagues, different price ranges. Hopefully there's something for everyone, even if you don't have that many leagues loaded in your database. So without further ado, let's get right into looking at these amazing African superstars. Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and as I mentioned in that intro, today we're looking at a Wonderkid 11 filled with solely African Wonderkids. With AFCON going on, we're looking to celebrate Africa and the players that they have produced. So before I get into all of the details about the video, I want to ask you guys a question. Let me know in the comments who your favourite African footballer of all time is. That can be to do with Football Manager or to do with real life football, of course. And whilst we're on the topic, if you guys could smash the like button, I and everyone at FMSCOUT would greatly appreciate it. It really does mean a lot. And finally, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our statistics show 80% of you guys aren't subscribed. Can you imagine how well this channel will be doing subscriber wise if just like 10% of that 80% subscribed? So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet and you enjoy our content, I would ask you to do so. And with that being said, we'll get looking at these 11 great African Wonderkids, all of which are different price ranges in different nations. Hopefully some of them more accessible to you guys depending on what databases you've got loaded. I've tried to keep it a variation of players in African leagues and also in leagues that are very close to home that you might have loaded in your save. So with that being said, let's get right into looking at these awesome players. Okay, player number one, and bear with me because this is the only player on the list that doesn't actually show as an African player. He is currently a Dutch player in the game, but he does usually go on to represent Ghana. I'll just prove it to you here. Here you go. He does have Ghana as another nationality, and very often he does go into it. It's just hard to find a player that classes as a Wonderkid in goal that's also African, but I tell you, this guy does fit the bill. It's Rome Jaden Owusu Odoro. Apologies if any of my pronunciations are wrong in this video, but as usual, I don't know too much to say about Wonderkid goalkeepers. If you give them game time, if you develop them right, they'll go on to do a good job for you, but attribute wise, you can see he's got a fairly few decent ones, a bit of determination in there too. Physicals is probably his weakest area, but he's a keeper. How much does that really matter in terms of his goalkeeping attributes outright? I think he's actually very strong compared to other goalkeepers of his age range. He's 17 years of age, playing in the Eredivisie for AZ's under-18s team. I really like this guy, some very nice goalkeeping attributes. There's your goalkeeper. Now let's move on to the players that actually show as African in game. Okay, so the first player we have got is our left back in this team here. Bear in mind, as this is a team of 11 Wonderkids, we're not going to have every single African Wonderkid in this list. There are plenty of others that aren't included, so I've just picked 11 that I think would make a nice team. And we are starting with the left back, Dauda Guindo of Red Bull Salzburg out in Austria. He is a Malian 18-year-old with some amazing physical attributes for his position. I actually think, looking at his attributes, I would opt to play him as a centre-back. Yes, 6 foot might be a tiny bit small, but if you can develop a little bit, I think with those physicals, a little bit of work in his mentals, his technicals are already at a very good level. I think this guy can be a top tier talent. I think his physicals are the thing that really stand out to me because there's nothing lacking there really. He's an all-rounder, pacey, strong. It tends to be this guy doesn't want to leave Salzburg in the first transfer window in the first season, so keep a scout on him, see what you think of him. If his scouts recommend him highly, I think he'd definitely be worth the pickup. The 18-year-old Malian is absolutely brilliant and a great player to start off our list. Moving on to an Ivorian player now, one of 2 Ivorian players in this team I believe, and we have an absolutely outstanding player. But before we talk about him, I'd just like to let you guys know I do have my own channel linked in the description. If you want to check it out, it would be greatly appreciated by me if you could come over, check it out. We're getting close to 6,000 subscribers. We've got a Wolfsburg save going on, alongside some rebuild videos as well, all Football Manager related. So if you want to give it a look, see what you think, hit the subscribe button. I would very much appreciate it. You can find it in the description. But with that being said, what a talent this guy is. The Ivorian has 6 caps for his national team already. It's Odilon Kosunu, playing for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. He is someone that I'm a big fan of. He has just joined the club, I believe, from Club Bruges, if I remember from my research before. Yeah, so they paid £18.75 million for him. This isn't just like a hot prospect player for them. This is a player that they're expecting to contribute. Being paid 25 grand a week and already costing them 20 million, he's not going to be able to be bought easily. He's going to be one that you'll have to keep an eye on. But why would Leverkusen want to let a player go with physicals of this nature? An absolute physical beast, 20 years old, so a bit further along in his development than some others. But I love this guy's physicals, quick, tall and strong in the air. Not only that, he's got a good set of mentals to build up from, and his technicals for defending are brilliant. Amazing tackling, decent passer as well if you want to play him out the back. I think this guy is top tier. I think he'd go on to do very good things for you. Definitely worth keeping a scout on, and he is a very high level player. Now, my other centre-back in this team, I know he's not actually a centre-back, but, just for the sake of having a nice layout of a team, we'd play this guy in defence in the little team shape. But realistically, he's a defensive midfielder. I'm sure he could be converted to a centre-back, but I would probably use him in a defensive midfield role, just for the sake of the video. Let's say he's a centre-back though. This is the Gambian international with 3 caps already, Ebrima Darbo, playing for Roma. Straight in this save, he's wanted by Porto, so he might have to be someone that you have to get on quickly to try and sign him. But a very nice defensive midfielder, particularly mentally, he's very well rounded. There's nothing he's really lacking in too much. If you're looking for a deep line playmaker and you'd like to go for someone a little bit more out there that you maybe haven't used before, I think Ebrima Darbo could definitely be worth the pickup. Maybe try and loan him. And I think at full growth, this guy could be an absolute beast. Definitely someone that could revolutionise your midfield in your team. And at right back, we've got the player who I think represents, maybe alongside one other player in the video, represents the most complete package you're going to see. And he is, in my opinion, not just a very good African Wonderkid. This guy is one of the best right back Wonderkids you can sign in FM. Maybe even if we're talking about in-game, the way that he performs, maybe top tier, maybe the best, in my opinion anyway. It's Wilfried Singo of Torino, someone that will command a fairly high fee straight away. If we do go and have a look what they might want for him, we're talking 20 million, which actually for this kind of player at 20 years of age, it's nothing really. He's going to develop into an absolute beast. If you're looking for a right back who can bomb forward, get a good crossing, can contribute to your attack as well as your defence, Wilfried Singo is great. The Ivorian has apparently only 1 national cap, maybe only recently called up. He's got some nice player traits, 6'3", so an absolute beast bombing down the line. Also could be used in a centre-back position in a back 3, but I really like him as a wing-back on attack or support duty on that right-hand side. Physically excellent, quick, strong, tall, mentally perfect in every single way, and he's got room to grow. And then technically it doesn't get any worse, he's just as good. I really like him. I think he's top tier. I bought him in the Lyon rebuild on my channel, which again, if you want to check that out, feel free. And he was awesome for us, arguably one of our most crucial players in turning us from, well, you'll see, but turning us from a pretty average Ligue 1 team to one of the best teams in the world football. Okay, so for the first player in our midfield 2 behind our forward 3 and a striker, we are looking at Ousmane Diakate of St. Gallen. This is a Malian player playing for a Swiss team, I believe St. Gallen are. Let me double check that. Yeah, Switzerland. They are a Swiss team. And I think this guy is another one that really suits that defensive role. He's maybe not as good of a passer in midfield as the other player that we looked at that we decided to put in centre-back from Roma, but I think still he's a very nice prospect, particularly them physicals and mentals yet again. Very nicely balanced with a good base set to build up from. He's a little bit older than some of the other players we'd look at, and I imagine, without actually checking yet, I imagine he comes a lot cheaper. Yeah, so between £450,000 and 8.4 is a very big range. Let's say you meet him in the middle, £3.5, £4 million maybe, with a bit of instalment fees, whatever you want to do. I think you get yourself a good midfielder here. I'm not saying he would fit in straight away at a side like Chelsea, but if you're looking for someone a little bit more out there that you haven't tried before, good with both feet, 6'2", in your midfield, he's going to be a presence, and I really like him. Try him out if you haven't already. For our other midfielder in the 2-man pivot, we go over to Belgium and to Antwerp, where we find the Nigerian player Al Hassan Yusuf. This is again a midfielder who is primarily a defensive midfielder. Awesome physically, actually impeccable nearly mentally already. Yes, he's got a couple of attributes here that aren't great, but everything else is exceptionally good. Likes to come deep to get the ball, plays 1-2s, dives into tackles, maybe isn't the best, but the other 2 we can work with. He's a great passer with very good technique and very good tackling as well. He's actually near enough getting towards being a complete package. If he was a few years younger and you had more time to develop him, he would be awesome, but at 20 years old, definitely still worth a transfer in my eyes. Let's have a look how much they might want from here. Apparently he doesn't want to move. I imagine maybe he's just joined Antwerp. He has. He's joined him for £1.3 million, so worth keeping an eye on. He's got some awesome attributes. The theme so far seems to be that all these players have amazing mentals and physicals, and if you have the technicals, that's even a bonus. But they look great. Great work rate as well. A very good midfield disruptor, I would say, who can also play a pass. Right foot, very strong. Love this guy. I think he's a great option. I personally hadn't heard of him before this, and he's definitely someone that I'll get a scout on from now on. Moving up the pitch now, and in the attacking midfield role, I've gone for the Guinean Iliax Mariba. He used to be Spanish on the game, I think, but he has chosen to represent Guinea, it seems. And this guy has been one of the best Wonderkids in Football Manager for a couple years. He's been one of my favourites for a long time. He's arguably the perfect Messala that you could get in Football Manager at such a young age. Only 18 at this stage, by the way, with a good left foot, right foot, great physicals, great mentals, And again, great technicals. But this year, he's just gone up another level. He's one of the best Wonderkids, not in his position, but in the game flat out in terms of his actual potential rating and the attributes that he has at such a young age. I absolutely love him. Great determination too. Plays for RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga, so he's not going to come cheap. They've just signed him for 16 million. He does usually cost a pretty penny if you want him. But if you're a big team, I'd say try and get this guy before he's 21. Pick him up. It might cost you a fair bit of money, but it's only going to cost you more later when he becomes one of the world's most elite midfielders, probably playing for your PSGs or your Real Madrids if you don't pick him up sooner rather than later. Next, we have a Moroccan player playing for Atletico Madrid, and it is Salim El Jabari. He's probably the weakest player that we've looked at so far in this team, but he is 17. He's got plenty of room to grow, and I imagine if we were going to sign him, he would come a lot cheaper than some of the others. There you go, between £750,000 at max, so we're not even paying £1 million for this guy. You can kind of see why. He's not really ready-made just yet, but he does have Wonderkid potential. His physicals might need a little bit of work, but he's quick at the very least. He's got good determination though in this save at least. If that is in every save, that's very good because it's something to build up from that point on. Determination is a great attribute to have straight from the off, and there's a few other nice attributes in there too. Technically, again, let down a little bit, but at 17, he's got room to grow. Not going to play for Atletico Madrid at that level, I don't think, without some very significant development on the highest end of his range, but definitely someone that could cause an impact in a different team. So scout him, wait a couple years, see what your scouts think, maybe then he might be worth going for in the transfer market. Okay, only 2 players left, so if you are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to smash the like button. And for the right wing position, we are going for Issakou Abdul Fatawu. He plays for Dreams FC in Ghana, one that I don't think many people will have in their save, but if they do, he is top draw. I spoke about him in the Fairview videos before because he does come very cheap when he is available. He's not on a massive contract here, and at 17, he's got a lot of room to grow. Good physicals to build up from. Mentals definitely need a bit of work. Hopefully his determination isn't free in every save, and I don't believe it is. And this left-footed player is pretty nice technically with good passing range, very good free kicks and corners, so maybe he's your new set piece expert. He can cut in from that right wing with that left foot or play more centrally. I like him, got plenty of room to grow, someone to get a scout on. If you have a league loaded, definitely invest in him. You're not going to regret it. You'll either make a profit or you'll get a very nice player for your side. Okay, the final player now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video up to this point, and to finish off, we are looking at the Nigerian 17-year-old Silas Nwankwo. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but he is very nice physically, super pacey. I'm putting him as a striker, but he can play on that right wing. He's pacey, strong and agile, which is a great mix. He can shoot, pass and has a nice bit of technique with some nice mental attributes rolled up in there. Determination needs some work in this save at least, and I'd argue I'd be training him a lot in the final third area of the pitch. But playing for Nasaru United, who I assume are going to be a Nigerian team. They are a Nigerian team. I can't imagine he's going to cost you all that much when he does become available. If we do go and have a look, last season for this Nigerian team, he did very, very well. And he's at such a young age as well. He's got plenty of room to grow at 17 years of age. I don't see anything wrong with this guy at all. I think he'd be a very good prospect to sign in your guys' saves. So that is the final player in this list. If you're going to sign any of them, if you have signed any of them, let us know. Let us know your favourite African player. Hopefully you're all enjoying AFCON and you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button and I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching and goodbye.